Welcome to round 6 of the Thundersport GB Championships from Rockingham in Northamptonshire. This place set the scene for one of the most dramatic finales in Aprilia Superteen history back in 2009. Amazing battles between Wayne Ryan and Lee Jackson. Well, what are we going to be up for here today? The Superteens are in action. Welcome to the Aprilia Challenge. So here we are then in Parc Fermé, looking forward to Aprilia Challenge. I'm down here in Parc Fermé on number 11 machine in the Aprilia Superteens. It belongs to Rory Skinner, and he is the young man that everyone has been trying to catch so far this season. The title isn't far away. Let's see how he gets on, down onto the grid. Here we go. I'm going up into the commentary box, ready for race 1. So this championship that is being led by Rory Skinner so far. He has a comfortable advantage overall ahead of Georgina Polden, number 27. But this weekend at Rockingham, this young man, number 44, Edmund Best, came into the weekend in 5th place overall in the championship, but he's certainly having his best weekend to date. He was so agonisingly close to his first ever race win here yesterday. And he's looking to try and keep up with Rory Skinner. We've got lots of Nitro newcomers as well, riders that are completely new to racing. But this is where it all began for the likes of Cal Crutchlow, Casey Stoner, Bradley Smith, etc. And so the stars from the future, or the stars that you'll certainly see in 9-10 years' time, will probably come out of this pack. And at the moment, it is Rory Skinner that has it. He is the championship leader on board of him now. Looking back at Ed Best, number 44. Georgina Polden, perhaps Rockingham, just one of those circuits where it hasn't quite worked for her this weekend. She's been battling for wins everywhere we've gone so far this season. It's been a revelation, number 27, but just not quite shining as brightly. She is still slightly injured from a crash a few weeks back, but we're expecting to see Georgina back fighting for victories overall in Anglesey, which is our next round. Either way, she needs to pick up as many points as possible to try and make it as hard as possible for Rory Skinner, who mathematically could actually get to Anglesey and win the championship, although I rather suspect he'll probably be delayed until Donington Park the round after. But other riders to look out for this weekend: Miles Wadsley and the newcomers going very well indeed. Daniel Drayton, of course, number 34, a regular in this paddock in the top 10. Jordan Boyle's been struggling. They've had a few problems with his machine, but he's not quite as fast as we're used to seeing him up there at the sharp end. Of course, no Joe Thompson in the championship anymore. Tristan Finocchiaro, number 58, a rider to look out for. Shane Faber, it is, that leads the Nitro Newcomer Championship overall, the JDF rider. But again, another one that is just maybe struggling with the circuit layout here. It is one of those places that you either love or hate. Either way, wherever we go, we know one thing: Rory Skinner, number 11, is mustard. At the moment, however, he's not able to drop the interest of number 44, Ed Best. We've seen him on the podium a couple of times so far this season, but yet to see him picking up that first ever race win. Very well spoken young man, very polite. It's almost difficult to believe that he chucks this Aprilia 125 motorcycle around these circuits, but at the moment he's got eyes only for Rory Skinner, who has an excellent lead so far. I understand that sitting in Rory Skinner's corner on Friday during testing was a certain Neil Hodgson, no less. Of course, Bennett's backed situation for Rory. He's got some personal backing from Bennett's, and they're helping his future, and Neil Hodgson's certainly taken a look to him, but at the moment Rory Skinner's got more things to worry about than Neil Hodgson, and that is Ed Best. And Ed Best has caught him napping and has gone around the outside of him into Gracelands and takes the lead into Tarzan. So Ed Best there, rider with the purple wheels, number 44, hailing from Market Harbour on the EBR Motorsport Aprilia. We're on board now with Skinner, and he's retaken the lead, going very hot into this Brook chicane. And Skinner then back out front again. Rory Skinner from Perth in Scotland, a softly spoken Scot with long wavy hair, but very, very quick out of the blocks. When we first saw him at the end of last season at Donington Park, he turned up and won a race straight away, and we could barely believe our eyes. So we knew we were onto something special. And at the moment, there hasn't been any. We've had a few people beat him on his day, but he's kept so consistent. and has done a lot of damage in this championship. It would take a mistake or two, I fear, for anyone to be able to catch him. Hopefully that's not the case for him, because he's a very likeable young man, and at the moment he's doing okay. He's just holding off Ed Best, but he knows he's there now. These two are miles ahead of the third place battle that's going on between actually Georgina Polden, Dan Drayton, Miles Wassley and TJ Toms. Jordan Boyle in amongst that lot as well. So the orange bibs that you see out on circuit are riders that are in their first full season of racing. Further back there is number 93, Thomas Burnett, currently in 12th place and on for a couple of points. Thomas, who's 10th in the championship overall. Back to the front we go though. Rory Skinner cannot shake off this interest from Ed Best. Ed is so desperate for that first race win. Number 88 is Jack Reed, just behind Thomas Burnett out on circuit. Jack from Brighton on the JR Racing Aprilia. And across the line go the two race leaders. Number 11 it is Rory Skinner from Perth on the RS Racing Aprilia that has the advantage over 44. Ed Best on the EBR Racing Aprilia 125. Of course, this class that is being run by Ian Newton since day one, still going strong. And the great thing is, we often mention riders such as Cal Crutchlow, Casey Stoner, of course, the most famous names that have come from this championship, but more recently it's encouraging to see that since Thundersport GB's involvement with this Aprilia Superteens Championship, some of the riders that have won championships in 08, 9, 10, etc. are starting to snowball into that paddocks, into those world paddocks now as well. Chrissy Rouse, you may remember, has just got himself into European Superstock. Fraser Rogers is in World Supersport, currently looking for a ride. Wayne Ryan racing over in Spain. Lee Jackson, who has been once battled with him at this very circuit in 2009, is doing very well in Superstock Thousands at BSB, and so even the modern day Super Team rider going on to greatness, so it's a championship worth winning. The moment this race, it's neatly poised. Rory Skinner at the moment has advantage. Further back, this is the battle for third place, so really tasty one. Hotting up there for the final podium place. It's still Skinner that leads from Ed Best, but that battle further back, including TJ Toms, Georgina Polden, Dan Drayton, etc. There's a few names there. They're actually searching for their first ever full Aprilia Super Team podium. But these are your race leaders, Rory Skinner and Ed Best. Both of them are used to Aprilia Super Team races, of course. Rory Skinner isn't a Nitro newcomer, nor is Ed Best. Ed had his first full season last year. Oh, and someone nearly got their nose chopped off there in that battle for third. This is quite a bit further back, and who was that? That was Jordan Boyle, who almost lost the nose off the front of his bike there. It is in fact Dan Drayton that currently sits in third place. Georgina Polden's up there also, but Dan Drayton has yet to actually get an Aprilia Super Team podium. He was very consistent last season, but this year he's just started to show some signs of improvement. He looked like he might be able to get his first ever podium. Here we're now on board with Rory Skinner though, down into Tarzan, and Ed Best is still there, trying to find out if there's anywhere on this Rockingham circuit where he'll be able to get an advantage. Rory Skinner was a bit wide on the exit there onto the school straight. This is back to the battle for third place. Daniel Drayton is there, number 34 with the blue wheels, and that's Georgina Polden, number 27. Of course, Georgina at the moment, very busy young lady indeed, racing over in the BSB 125 class when she can. But she has set her sights and concentration on this Aprilia Super Team Championship. Last lap flag is out. Georgina will be certainly hoping that Ed Best can do something about Mr. Skinner out front at the moment, because Rory Skinner is edging away in the championship all the while. And as we now go up into Dean Hairpin for the final time of this first race, of course they've got another race coming up later on in this Aprilia Challenge show. We're on board now with Rory Skinner looking back at Ed Best. Can Ed find anything to pick up his first win? He was a 10th away from claiming that first ever victory just yesterday here at Rockingham. He's not going to get many better opportunities than he's in now. He needs to get some decent drive somewhere, maybe have a look on the brakes, or maybe just get the drive out of the corner and get up alongside him. Both riders very light. We're still on board with Skinner and Ed Best here as we go around Gracelands, and then we'll go up towards Tarzan. He's going to give himself an excellent opportunity here to either go up the inside or get the decent drive. What's he going to go for? He's in the slipstream now. He pulls out of the slipstream, and Ed Best is going to have a look up the inside down into Tarzan. He lets off the brakes that bit later. Oh, there was almost contact. but Ed Best has managed to get out front and has gone underneath Rory Skinner now. As we head down the school straight, just a couple of corners left, and Rory Skinner, despite leading the championship and being comfortable, he's going to have a bite back as well. No, it's not going to happen. They go around Brook Chicane, and then they'll go on to the start-finish straight, and I don't think there's enough left here for Rory Skinner to win this one. Ed Best is going to win his first ever Aprilia Superteen race, and that will mean the world to him. He'll remember that for years to come. Well, he doesn't. He looks calm about it, doesn't he? I'd be going absolutely mental. Well, either way, Ed Best has taken the race win up ahead of Rory Skinner. Dan Drayton finishes in third and gets his first ever podium ahead of Georgina Polden. Miles Wastley in fifth and takes the newcomer win. There, though, is a very happy race winner. Edmund Best, the first of many, I'm sure. And in the newcomers, Miles Wastley is the winner from Thomson Booth. Third place in the Nitro Newcomers, Daniel Booth. Sun shining, good day for racing, enjoyed that?
Yeah, it was such a close race. I had a good battle with Georgina and a few other people. Yeah, it was a good race, really enjoyed it. I'd like to thank Scott Bader for paying for this meeting, Longton Battery Services, Motortrack Racing, Motor Oil, Mum and Dad and Sharks Motorcycles and Aprilia Funny Sport Dunlop.
TJ, back on the podium again, you look very happy with that.
Yeah, I would have got third, but unfortunately, I think it was Jordan Boyle crashed and Daniel Booth nearly hit him, and I managed to gain him on the brakes and get him out of the last corner and cross the line, so it was a brilliant race.
Anyone to thank at all?
Yeah, I'd like to thank You Save Motorcycle Tyres, Johnson's Metals, Skills Direct, Countrywide Windows, K&B Motors, Munchkins Catering, Hillard's Commercials, Steve Windsor, SRC, Mac Tools, and a newer sponsor, Sean Wynn from SMW, for all of his help, and he's been a great influence, and Aprilia, Dunlop and Thundersport.
Well done to you, TJ. I want you to memorise that next time, right? And on to the Nitro Newcomers winner, Miles Wastley. Miles, a great win. You look absolutely delighted. How did the race go for you?
Yeah, it's a really good race. I got a good start. I managed to get third into the corner, so I dropped back a couple of places from just mistakes, and it was a good race.
And anyone to thank at all?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my mum and dad, Aprilia Dunlop Thundersport, Replicast Racing, and John Brash, and Scott Finley for doing my engines. Third place overall in the Aprilia Superteens. Delighted to have you on the podium. It's been a long time coming, this, Dan.
Yeah, it's been a while. It was a good race. I had a few moments in a second to last lap, nearly lost it entering the straight. But it was an amazing race with Georgina and Jordan. I just hope Jordan's all right from his crash.
Anyone to thank at all?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Locate Metal Supplies, Q Hotels for sponsoring me, the bike insurer and Dave Jackson for all the help, and obviously Dunlop, Aprilia and Thundersport for the great meeting. Cheers.
And Mum and Dad as well.
And Mum and Dad, yeah.
Don't forget them.
Cheers.
Rory, a great battle there with Ed. It's certainly good for you in terms of the championship. He had a few problems with the gears on that final lap.
Unfortunately, I think I misselected the gears and it jumped out of gear twice. But yeah, I really enjoyed battling with it. It was good, clean racing.
And anyone to thank at all?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Skinner Motorcycles, Strathern Tyres, Scott's Leather, Scott's Bearings, Bennett's, Tolkheim, WK Bikes. Big thanks to Bennett's as well, and Neil Hodgson, Dunlop, Aprilia and Thundersport, my mum, dad, Bill and Phil, and everybody else is sportsmen.
Ed, your first ever race win. It's been a long time coming. You look like you were lining that move up for a while.
Yeah, I couldn't quite get it done a few laps before, but managed to do it on the last lap, which he keeps on getting me going into that chicane, but I managed to hold him off. I don't know if he missed a gear or something.
It's been a lot of hard work to get yourself to this first win. Do you feel more relieved than overjoyed?
Yeah, it's just finally got here.
And anyone to thank at all?
I'd like to thank my mum, my dad, my grandpa, my grandma for all their help, David Granger, Pumpkin Prince, Harbour Autos, Spender's Motorcycles, and Aprilia Thundersport and Dunlop.
Welcome back to Rockingham for part 2 of all of the racing. Aprilia Superteens race 2, first up on the grid. We saw an excellent battle between Ed Best here, number 44, and championship leader Rory Skinner earlier on. There is Rory. Ed got the better of Rory in that first encounter, but Rory Skinner, well, he said he med a small mistake and missed a gear or two. He'll try and put that right. There's Georgina Polden on the left there, number 27 from Oxford on the King's two-wheel centre Aprilia. She'll be looking to try and get herself somewhere near that podium. Also look out for Dan Drayton, who got his first ever podium earlier on. And away we go from the line, and it looks like a decent start once more from Rory Skinner. He's going to get the whole shot. Also a good start there from Miles Wassley. He's got himself up into third place here. Really solid start there from Miles on the second row of the grid, but Rory Skinner has the advantage heading up towards Dean, hairpin for the first time. Ed Best there in second place, and immediately just moving up into third, I think that is Daniel Booth. We'll get confirmation of that as they go closer down into Yentwada. Yeah, it is. Daniel Booth has moved up into third ahead of Miles Wassley. Georgina Polden not got off to the greatest of starts in this one, but I will reiterate the fact that it's not a circuit that she's all that familiar with, nor one that I suggest she likes that much. So we'll see Georgina hopefully at Anglesey back to her race-winning best and challenging Rory out front. Ed Best though, well, the winner from earlier on, his first win. Can he back it up with a second? He's got a lot on because Rory Skinner here is charging away at the front. He won't want to make the same mistake as he did in race one, although partly his mistake and partly a bit of brilliance from Ed Best. In third place though, Daniel Booth. Well, we've seen him on the podium overall a couple of times before, but we've not seen him this close to the front. He's certainly a newcomer worth looking out for. There he is, number 46. He's ditched his orange vest, but he is still a newcomer for this season. A fair few other newcomers just coming through as well there. Number 54 is Sam Messenger, just up behind George Anderson. Saw another newcomer there from Ireland. Nice to welcome Lee Harnett into the championship. So I hope you're enjoying your weekend of racing here. Newcomer from Ireland, another one being helped out by Aaron Clifford and family, who obviously were once in this championship and have moved up into the 450s. This is the battle further back though for second place, and Rory Skinner is just breaking away from the pack. 44 there, Ed Best, race one winner. Can't get on terms with Rory Skinner at the moment, and has got company. It's Daniel Booth, number 46 from Preston on the Scott Bader Resins Aprilia 125. In fourth place further back, Georgina Polden battling away with Dan Drayton, TJ Toms, Cameron Fraser, who's having a better stab at this one as well. Cameron, another newcomer from Nottingham, number 66. There's number 9, and that's Connor Thompson. Connor from Hawley on the CRT Racing Aprilia. Number 7 there, TJ Toms with the yellow wheels. Rider from Bridgewater on the Motrack Racing Aprilia, just going underneath Miles Wassley. They're battling for the Nitro Newcomers top 3. Miles from Stonehouse on the MW Racing John Brash Aprilia has done a bit of winning so far this year. Of course, Shane Faber leads the Nitro Newcomers overall on the JDF Aprilia, but not having a great weekend here at Rockingham. So Booth, Toms, Wassley all able to catch him up in the championship. So Faber's going to have to get himself back on that podium ready for Anglesey. There is number 7, TJ Toms. Certainly a character and always armed with a script just in case he gets onto the podium and starts reeling off all of the sponsors that he has to thank. And hopefully he'll get used to that and he'll memorise them for future events. But at the moment, he's doing okay out there, TJ. He's in line for another Nitro Newcomer podium. He's battling away here with number 8, Miles Wassley, and just behind them, sort of Dayglow red wheels, is Cameron Fraser, and Cameron's got a load of drive there and just blasts past Miles Wassley with ease. So Cameron Fraser's on for a podium. It wouldn't be the first time we'd have seen him on the Nitro Newcomer podium, but he's doing well. Out front in the race overall, right, it's Rory Skinner down into the 135s. That's the lap record completely and utterly demolished. Zach Corduroy, last year's champion, had set that previously with a 136.1, but these guys have battered that. Rory Skinner 135.241 for the young Scotsman. Further back, this is that battle again. TJ Toms in the Nitro Newcomers, currently in second place. Daniel Booth leading. He's third place overall in the race, and he is leading the Nitro Newcomers. Georgina Polden behind him. Georgina on for fourth place overall here. We've got waved yellows over at the Brook chicane, so we've lost a rider. And I believe it's newcomer Lee Harnett. I was just singing his praises in his first weekend, and the Irishman has gone down, so I hope he's up and okay. But Lee Harnett, number 16, has gone down and out of this race. It's still Rory Skinner that leads this one. He's got one hand on the trophy. Will be very interesting to see what he decides to do in the next step of his career going into next season, whether it's the Aprilia 450s or some other adventure. Either way, we'll keep our eyes pegged on him. He's got a bright future. This is the scrap for the Nitro newcomers, second place overall between number 7 there, TJ Tom, 66, Cameron Fraser, number 8, Miles Wasley. Tristan Finocchiaro, number 58, is just tucked in behind them on the Motrack Racing machine as well. Forget, folks, if you're watching this and you've got a youngster and they fancy a go at it, why not? This is the place to start racing. There is no better series to start your youngsters out in motorcycle racing than the Aprilia Superteens. Still waved yellows out there for that incident earlier involving Lee Harnett. You can get in touch with Ian Newton, ian.newton at incompetition.co.uk, or go on apriliachallenge.net, find out all the information you need to. But this is where all the stars come from, and we've got another one here in Rory Skinner. Rider just going over a bit of old cement dust that's been left there from another race here in the championship. Lots of other Thundersport shows coming up on Modus TV, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But Rory Skinner, well, he's made up for the tiny errors in race 1. He's got down to business, and he's going to pick up another race win surely here, just under a lap to go now for him. He's a good 7-8 seconds ahead now of Ed Best, who has broken away from Daniel Booth. Daniel's having a bit of a lonely race. Either way, he's on for a really solid podium, third place overall, and the win in the Nitro newcomers. So he will close up on Shane Faber, and we'll get confirmation of the points come up for you at the end of this race. Georgina Polden, she is in 4th place at the moment. She will remain 2nd place in the Aprilia Superteen Championship overall, no matter what the result is here, and she'll just hope to try and regroup and get herself ready for Anglesey. And well, as I said before, mathematically it is possible for Rory Skinner to win the championship at Anglesey, but he would need results to go his way, more than just winning them. There's Ed Best. Ed currently, well, coming into the championship, he was 5th place overall. He's definitely going to move ahead of Jordan Boyle, and he's not going to be too far away from the absent Joe Thompson in 3rd either, and 3rd in the championship has to be what Ed Best aims for now. There's Georgina Polden, number 27, and then Cameron Fraser, who's having an excellent race. Cameron Fraser, number 66, has now got past Daniel Drayton and TJ Toms, so Daniel Drayton has dropped down a couple of places. Either way, the checkered flag is out, and it is Rory Skinner, the championship leader, that extends that series lead and wins race 2 with ease here. Ed Best takes another solid 2nd place and 20 points, and I can confirm that Daniel Booth was in 3rd place overall in this race and takes the Nitro newcomer win. Georgina Polden will get 13 points for 4th ahead of Cameron Fraser. Good run for Cameron, and Dan Drayton 6th. There's Rory, centre of picture, Ed Best on the left and Daniel Booth on the right. Booth wins the newcomers as well, ahead of Cameron Fraser and TJ Tom. So then, the championship standings going into Anglesey. There you see the damage, 127 points the lead now for Rory Skinner going into Anglesey with 3 rounds to go. Polden still in 2nd, then Thompson, Best, Boyle and Finocchiaro. And then in the Nitro newcomers, it's Shane Faber still leading, but that lead has been cut dramatically by Daniel Booth. TJ Thompson 3rd over Wasley, Fraser and Reed.
3rd place in the Nitro newcomers. It's another podium for you, TJ. Good weekend all round?
Yeah, it's been a good weekend. Me and Daniel Drayton nearly come together at the Double Apex hairpin, so that was close. I sort of lost my rhythm after that, but it was a good race and I had some good battles with Cameron.
Cameron Fraser, great to have you up here on the podium. Have you enjoyed that one?
Yeah, it was great. I was having a battle with TJ and Miles at the start, and then I managed to get past TJ, and then from then I just tried to pull a gap.
Anyone to thank at all?
Yeah, my mum, my dad, my grandma, RTR Motorcycles, PSP, esip.co.uk, Thundersport and up in Aprilia.
Well remembered. And now on to the winner of the Nitro newcomers and also 3rd place overall in the Aprilia Superteens. That's a really solid result for you, Daniel.
Yeah, it's my third time getting a double podium, so yeah, I'm really happy with that. I got a good start, which really helped me out. So yeah, it was really good.
Ed, I know that you probably want to be one step up. Either way, this has been your best weekend so far of your short career, so thumbs up.
Yeah, I've had podiums all weekend in every race, and I've been near Rory in most races apart from the last one. Bit of a shame that I wasn't with him to battle, but great race overall and happy with the whole day.
On to the winner, it's Rory Skinner, championship leader.
Yeah, it was a brilliant race. I just tried to break Edmund first few laps and I managed to.
And looking ahead to Anglesey, I mean, you got one hand on the trophy now. It might not be too long before we see you lifting the crown.
Well, just want to keep going. Don't want to jinx myself, so keep on.
Thanks for
trying to
joining
get
us
on podium.
here, the Aprilia Challenge at Rockingham. From here in Northamptonshire, we go to North Wales. Anglesey is the next round. Be sure to join us.